We believe that videos, images, words, and sounds have the absolute power to inform, inspire, and entertain. We are united under the virtues of safety and knowledge. We are a training community of learners and teachers who encourage and energize each other to achieve greatness. We are pilots, videographers, photographers, freelancers, business owners, enthusiasts, experts, and apprentices. We are creators. We are the Drone U.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another awesome episode of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rob, and hopefully you didn't peek on that one, Paul. But anyways, this is episode number 280. Thank you so much for being with us. It's a very... What am I trying to say? We really appreciate it.
We do. I would say, though, I may have peaked in high school. I hope not, but anyway. Just kidding.
No comment.
Just kidding. Anyway, we welcome you guys to another awesome episode of Ask Drone U. I really appreciate, again, like you said, our listeners. It really does make a big difference. And I got to say, I'm really excited in the next couple days to also talk about how people can get business. This is something that people have been badgering me in emails. Paul, I need business. Paul, I need business. How do I go about this?
Badgering, huh? You're going to call it badgering?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I thought about that for about a half a second.
And you stuck with it. All right. Sticking to your guns.
It's like, hey, why not, right? But anyway, guys, we're going to go over that because it really does come down to your hustle. You've got to be smart. And in the upcoming book, we're going to talk really about, what is the fundamentals to keeping a good business when you're turning your passion to profit. Because a lot of people are good dronies, terrible businessmen. Some are great businessmen, terrible dronies. And in order to really be successful as a business, you've got to be kind of good at both, a jack of all trades. So anyway, just want to say if you have any questions, you can hate us on Twitter. And if you have any posts...
Hate us? Don't give them any ideas,
Well,
Paul.
that's what one of my friends says on his podcast. And I'm like, God, Twitter is really negative. So why not just go with it? I'm not a fan of Twitter. I love Instagram. It kind of speaks to my heart, my soul. Speaks through images. I see something and I'm like,
that's deep.
And I'm like, oh man, look at that. Anyway, I just Instagram speaks to me. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/droneu.
Just don't give us one of those new little frowny faces, please.
I really don't like that Facebook added that today. It's like
that's
like that face, the O face. I call it the O face. O. Anyway, the angry face, and then the laughing face. So
like that was the real thing, though.
Maybe it's more like I don't know.
Anyways, check us out, Facebook, Twitter.
You got a question, be sure to submit that on Ask Drone U. And again, guys, really appreciate those reviews. I know a few of you put those reviews in. And but I want to say, a lot of people are checking out this new website, Rob. What do you think of that new website?
I'm excited about it. I think our peeps that took care of the website did a phenomenal job. And, anytime you do something like that, you get it out as best you can, and it's a work in progress, even still. So I know there are some things that are being worked on. So if you're there and you see something, let us know.
Absolutely.
We'd love to hear that because we are continuing to make it better every single day. I've seen the list recently of things that still need to get done, and it's a pretty long list. So we're going to keep making it better every day.
Well, we appreciate everyone's support, and we appreciate. I love the new website because it's really easy to navigate, and resources are easy to find. Articles are easy to find. I'm actually I'm supposed to be writing articles today, so I'll get to that.
All right.
Anyway,
on the agenda.
Why don't we just roll right into today's question?
Hey, Drone U, how you doing? This is Greg in Baldwin Hills in California. I want to ask you, you were talking about keeping the lipos warm, man, or cold, in a hot climate. And I want to say that, why don't you talk about the Peltier cooler? The Peltier cooler is a plate. You apply voltage in one direction, and it gets hot. It gets hot like an oven. You apply the voltage in the other direction, it gets cool. Makes it cooler. So, why not use the Peltier cooler? You can buy them. You can buy it's like a cooler with a Peltier cooler inside. You can use it for storage, transportation, So why not do that, man? Is there something I'm missing? You make everything I-read. So tell the I&I, why not use the Peltier cooler? Thank you. And drawing you is awesome, man.
Rude boy.
What is? Bless you. What was that? Hairball?
Just kidding. I'm just working on my accent, like our question.
You know what? That was a great effort by Greg. That's funny.
I thought it was
I
really
dug it.
good.
I dug it.
I like it a lot, man.
Very good, man.
Blah, blah.
What is the plop plop?
You know?
No, I don't.
All right, it's just, I guess it's a
Some
cultural
movie
thing.
that I don't know again, I'm sure.
Probably like 4 or 5, but anyway.
Oh.
All right, so let's get into today's question.
Please.
Peltier Device, or as you, Rob, would call it, because you're French, the Peltier.
The Peltier?
Peltier. Sorry, excuse me.
I just know there's no vowel in between the L and the T.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
grammar expert over
so
here.
it can't be pel anything other than a T sound,
Peltier.
right? Or a... Okay, we've way overanalyzed.
Anyway, so
Pronunciation.
is it good for heating? Is it good for cooling? I would say right now, I think it's a great idea. I actually talked to Andrew Baker, again, the avionics guy from Honeywell, who works on software engineering. He is the guy. I mean, his brain is just unbelievable.
So what's the like the electronic equipment or the equivalent of a gearhead? Sounds like that would be Andrew.
A techie? A droney? A drone
techie head?
techie? A drone tech?
A neutron head?
I don't know. But
don't know
anyway,
either.
I talked to him about this. I talked to him about utilizing this device to warm your batteries up or cool them down. For me, since it's wintertime, and even though I posted on our Facebook page, prepare for summer and know how hot your Phantom 3 can fly, it snowed yesterday.
Gotta love Albuquerque.
And it was 90 degrees, like this weekend. I'm just...
Close.
Well, it was in Arizona, but anyway,
Well,
it was literally
he didn't say where, that's
92
true.
degrees.
So what do you like about using this?
Well, a couple things. When I talked to Andrew, because he's more of a techie than I am, I said, I think this is a good idea to warm up your batteries. And he's like, well, Paul, normally they're used to cool things down, but all you would do is reverse the polarity. So you just switch those wires and it would be hot or cold.
Yeah.
What I like about it, though, is that I would use it for warming batteries up, but there's a really key performance indicator here. You can't just turn this thing on and get it super hot and put your battery on top of it. That would be like shocking the battery, and you don't want to do that. You want to gradually kind of warm it up. So when I talked to Andrew, he's like, well, I would have a regulator on my Peltier device, and I would set it to about 70, 75 degrees and put the battery on top of that, because that's kind of the optimum temperature that you really want for the battery. As far as cooling the battery down, I can only see this if you were living in the Southwest or Florida and you were shooting in the middle of the summer. So,
Right.
again, Southwest, Arizona, Southern California, Texas, Utah, Nevada.
Nevada, yeah, any of those places.
I keep forgetting about Nevada.
Well, we talked yesterday about calibrating. That was an interesting sound. Anyways, calibrating batteries and how hot they get through that process. So maybe you could use it for something like that.
Well, that's actually a good point, because remember, if you're calibrating that battery, it's on the drone, so you'd have to situate the device somewhere near the drone, or I don't think you'd be able to put it on the drone. The other thing is, it makes me wonder if this is the exact device that DJI Inspire 1 battery heater uses. But the only thing I don't like about the battery heater is that it takes 10% of the battery to actually warm up the battery, which kind of defeats the purpose in general. So
yeah, on some level at least, I guess, because you're draining the very thing you're trying to protect.
Yes. Now, we have heard of crazier ways to keep your batteries warm in the winter and cool during the summer. Do you remember any of those ways?
Well, let's see. Warm in the winter, like on your dashboard with your heater running.
That
is one.
That was my go-to for a long time.
Yeah, you've mentioned that a few times. I kind of like using the milk jug full of the appropriate temperatured water. Really, really cold if you're trying to keep it warm. Really, really hot.
So just to clarify, that's putting a jug of water in a cooler next to your batteries.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Just wanted to clarify out there, because...
Is that okay?
No, I think it's great. I
Okay.
just wanted to make sure that, people
Right.
people didn't think there are people out there
Boo.
that would be like, why would I put my batteries in a cold jug of water? That makes no sense.
That's true.
And it's like,
I knew
just
that Rob
gotta-
guy wasn't a droney, but this is ridiculous.
Just gotta clarify for the haters out there. So anyway, which there aren't very many, which we
No.
appreciate. But that being said, I think this is a great idea. You can find some of these devices on Amazon, and we'll have links to them in the show notes. So if you are looking to warm up your battery, I'll just put links in there for the DJI battery warmer if you guys still want to use that. I know one of our members for a long time was working on a heating device, and probably I would bet money he was utilizing this same device.
So one of the things that you mentioned is that you might use it more. You'd be more apt to use it for heating than for cooling. But what's interesting is what I've seen. It seems like it's used for like cooling
More often than heating.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're thinking it might be better for heating.
Well, I think it might be better for heating because this looks like something that would be a great little nifty tool to have in your truck or your Sprinter van. By the way, I think the Hudsons want to buy us a Sprinter van. I think it was really funny. Just I had to tell you that randomly. But you
Okay.
could have like a little docking bay in your Sprinter van with one of these, and keep the doors open, and you're running in between charging batteries, and you could have a battery like on this device to warm it up. So yeah, I would see it literally as some sort of workflow where if I was filming on a cold day, it's like a movie set, for example, just blowing through batteries, it would be, battery done, battery charge, battery warm, battery goes in the drone, we fly. Like it would be that perfect workflow. So, excuse me. Yes, I think.
Woo! That was a good one.
Yes, I think that it was kind of like a burp and a hiccup at the same time. It's best of both worlds. I think that actually it could be really useful, and I am familiar that these are normally used for cooling, which would be really important in the summer because I learned
Right.
the Inspire 1 in the manual. Like yesterday, we were talking about how hot can your Phantom take. The Inspire 1 is only rated to 40 degrees Celsius, which is 104 degrees Fahrenheit,
Oh, wow.
which makes sense as to why when it was 110 at Lake Mead in Nevada, I had a critical battery failure.
Absolutely. So you know what? We had a question a while back about how hot. No, let's see. Somebody asked about keeping their drone in their car, right? Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
So might they use something like this to eliminate the issue of it overheating? Is that an
That's
option?
actually a really cool idea. I think, yeah, it totally is an option, but you've got to have some airflow still in your car. There's still things that you need to do. But, a great idea is if you want to get really crazy, Rob, is again, we go back to the whole Sprinter van idea where we could cut a hole in the side of the van, install this fan and the cooling device, the Peltier cooling device, and then you would literally have like an air conditioning unit just for your batteries.
Totally. I like that. I've actually read that they're using these kinds of devices all the way up to cooling a submarine.
Really?
So they can obviously be very powerful. Or train cars that, are transporting things that need to be kept cool.
Something that's really interesting, when you get an MRI, that's actually like a super powerful electromagnet, and the only way that it works properly is if they keep it cool, because if it overheats, it doesn't work, and your
Right.
blood cells don't align so that they can see what's wrong with you. I wonder if they use the Peltier devices in that. That'd be really interesting. Or if it's
surprise
just, liquid nitrogen or something else.
Yeah, it sounds like it's, I don't know, it's a really cool idea. I appreciate Greg sending this in because it's not something that I had thought of for sure.
It's definitely a drone techie question. There are different types of dronies out there. There are the hardcore pilot guys who just like to fly. There are the hardcore camera guys who just like to operate the cameras. And then there are the techies, the builders, the science guys. Those are also some of my favorite people because I always love learning new things. And even John Casey, he and I have had conversations about the Gridlock project and creating perpetual flight and how that's possible. And his brain, whoa, he's incredible. So
Cool.
yeah, it is wild. But anyway, guys, love that question. If you've got a question, be sure to go to askdroneu.com and upload that question because, well, we love it. I got to say, we got to come out with some new swag. I really want to have like little SD card holders or something that we can give away other than, Polar Pro filters. I love the Polar Pro filters, as everyone knows. I post pictures of them on Instagram. Again, if you guys have a photo that you want us to repost on Instagram, just tag us at the DroneU, and we will post it and give you guys some love.
Also, people need to send in their videos and photos for YouTube because we're going to be featuring folks on there. Right?
That's right. That's right. So,
Right, John? Mr. Producer?
Again, guys, if you are listening to the podcast like everyone else in the beginning of how we did it, which is just audio, remember we are live streaming on YouTube. So if you want to make fun of our pretty faces and bald heads, you can. Anyway, just thought I'd provide some extra entertainment there. And besides, we're more entertaining than Donald Trump, so you should probably watch.
Ooh, I don't know about that. You think so?
We're not as controversial, that's for sure.
Maybe we need to be more controversial
Maybe
because it
we
seems
need-
to be working.
I think we need to ask the hard questions.
Yeah?
Maybe. He doesn't like hard questions. I don't know.
He likes asking them. He doesn't like receiving them.
That is definitely true.
Anyways.
Well, enough about the political circus and back to drones because no one likes talking about that. So, anyway, guys, seriously appreciate everyone who has asked those questions. Again, keep them on. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow us on Facebook, and please follow us on Instagram. And if you want to, hate us on Twitter. So I just think that is the way to go.
Or you can also like us on Twitter.
Yeah, you know that they
Right.
changed favorite to like now? I thought that was interesting.
Oh, did they really? By like, I just meant like be nice. I don't know. You don't have to hate.
No, you don't.
All right.
We don't
Anyways.
we don't like that actually. That's why our Drone U community, the private community where everyone gets to connect and ask questions and really work with the professionals in the community. I think that's why I love it so much because it is so positive. And you
It
know, we've
is.
had a lot of new people come into that community recently, and it's funny. I don't even have to respond most of the time because most our older members are like, "Do this, check this out. Here's that resource, that resource." I mean, it is such a caring community, and it's why I just love to be a part of it. So
Absolutely. And by the way, we've made some changes as of about a week and a half ago that are pretty big changes. If you haven't been to the site and seen pricing and those kinds of things in a while, you should check it out because I think we made some positive advancements in the way we've structured membership that, I don't know, might make you reconsider if you've not made the decision to join to this point.
definitely, for less than the cost of filters, you get information that'll save you thousands of dollars. I know for a fact that we've stopped 4 flyaways just by teaching people how to react when a flyaway happens. So I think that's really cool. I also know a lot of people have saved their batteries because of that training community. So I think that's really cool as well. Anyway, guys, we're going to have a lot more too on the Section 333. You know, I was doing more legal research on that last night. And the deeper I get, the more mind blown I am. I really can't say that enough. Like the definition of a policy statement. If you haven't read John Rupert's drone law book, you guys have got to read that. It's good.
good stuff, huh?
It's good. Although he doesn't make connections and ties, he just gives you the facts, which I find really interesting because after reading his book, it makes me think like, okay, well, I understand the 333 and why some people get it, but after reading this, it seems like there are even more legal arguments against it. I mean, when you read the definition of what a policy statement is and how often agencies can change their policy statements, it's really, really interesting. But we had good news just last week. You know, the AIR Act actually passed the committee. We are through that committee, which would, if that bill does go through, it would mean that micro UAS, any drone 4.4 pounds or under, could be used for any purpose whatsoever. That is commercial purposes, as long as it's 5 miles outside of an airport.
So contact your congressman, your
Contact
senators.
your congressman. Tell them you love it. Tell them to vote yes on it. Seriously, I mean, that is actually a really big deal.
It is.
If you guys want the micro UAS to go through, call your congressman or congresswoman, set up a meeting, educate them on why you like this, how it'll affect the industry, and how it will affect the politician. They will not care what you think unless you tell them how it's going to affect them.
Yeah, and if you don't have time for a meeting, at least, you know, do whatever
Right.
they allow you the opportunity to do, be it an email, letter, whatever.
Phone message.
Phone message.
Phone message in Jamaican accent.
I think they dig that.
Maybe they would actually find it funny.
They might
because
listen to that one.
I hope that there is I have some recent hope in our government after I read Rodney Davis's comments to the FAA in the congressional hearing. I was just like, oh man, finally someone with common sense. Loved it. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Tomorrow's question, we're going to go into detail about when to use the right Polar Pro filters. Again, this is something that's kind of subjective, but I actually made a mistake this weekend. I was flying.
No.
Yeah, I was flying at literally the peak of sunset. So right as the sun is peaking over the mountains. And I thought I had a polarizing filter on, and I only had the clear filter, but I got the reflection off of the water that I haven't really gotten before. I posted the picture as my cover photo, and it seems to have garnished some serious attention.
That's a beautiful picture if I'm thinking of the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you made a mistake, but it turned out good.
Yeah, and that's what I love about
when that happens.
I do too. I love videography because it is really subjective, and you can try different things and get new looks. But tomorrow we're gonna kind of go into when is the best time to use the right filter. So make sure you tune into that. Make sure you subscribe. You'll get them automatically downloaded into your phone every day, which makes it easy, right, Rob?
Absolutely, I would. I did.
Just like combing your hair every morning.
That is really easy.
On that bombshell, guys, that's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Drone U.
We believe that videos, images, words, and sounds have the absolute power to inform, inspire, and entertain. We are united under the virtues of safety and knowledge. We are a training community of learners and teachers who encourage and energize each other to achieve greatness. We are pilots, videographers, photographers, freelancers, business owners, enthusiasts, experts, and apprentices. We are creators. We are the Drone U.